Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 9th of December 2022. About 18 months ago, I made a video called Why the Vehemence, and you can look it up if you want in my archives, but the gist of what I was saying is if people out there really thought that the likes of me, likes of you, were just a bunch of crazies, a bunch of cranks, why were they so vehement? Because there's so much venom and vitriol directed at people like us, when if they really just thought we were crazy, it should have just been, oh, all right, yeah, just whatever, mate, get on with it. I'm not going to pay any attention to you. But even the way they said things like conspiracy theorist and the anti-V word, it wasn't just said matter of fact, it was said, you're a conspiracy theorist. Really spat it out, with that venom. And it baffled me at the time. I just thought, why? Why are you being so venomous? It was almost like they were afraid of us. Well, it transpires that that was very much the case. The big news this week is the Health Secretary here in the UK, Matt Hancock, who was in that position through really the heart of the lurgy and the lockdown period, etc. He's writing his memoirs now, aided by a lady called Isabel Oakeshott, who incidentally is the long-term girlfriend of the Reform Party leader Richard Tice. So that's a little bit bizarre that someone connected to him, who's supposed to be a political opponent of Hancock, who obviously is a conservative, why is she helping him write his memoirs? But hey ho, that's another question to be answered another time, I suppose. Bit bizarre though. But anyway, she has written this article in The Spectator, and it kind of gives her thoughts on Hancock and kind of some of the things he said to her and some of the things he shared with her while writing the book. And it's very, very revealing. And I'm just going to read out a couple of passages. There's a subsection called The Dissenters, and let's read it out for you. As far as Hancock was concerned, anyone who fundamentally disagreed with his approach was mad and dangerous and needed to be shut down. What does that remind you of? It reminds me of a tyrant, an authoritarian person, because it's only people like that who want to make it seem like any opposition, anyone speaking out against them, are just mad people. That's what the communists used to do in the Soviet Union, and then of course they would be censored. So that just really sums up what Hancock's all about as far as I'm concerned, just in that one sentence there. But anyway, let's carry on. Aided by the Cabinet Office, the Department of Health harnessed the full power of the state to crush individuals and groups whose views were seen as a threat to public acceptance of official messages and policy. As early as January 2020, Hancock reveals that his special advisor was speaking to Twitter about tweaking their algorithms. Later, he personally texted his old coalition colleague Nick Clegg, now a big cheese at Facebook, to enlist his help. The former Lib Dem Deputy Prime Minister was happy to oblige. Such was the fear of anti-Viers that the Cabinet Office used a team hitherto dedicated to tackling ISIS propaganda to curb their influence. The zero tolerance approach extended to dissenting doctors and academics. So, yeah, there you go. They were literally afraid of us dissenters, so much so that they used people who were previously working against ISIS and their evil propaganda, against anyone who disagreed with the narrative here, even eminent scientists with proven track records and sort of hugely qualified people to speak on the subject. Absolutely unbelievable, and as far as I'm concerned, that's a shattering revelation, and people's minds really should just be blown by that passage I've just read out there. And I'm just going to finish this off with what she writes a bit further down. There's another subsection entitled Masks, and here we go. Hancock, Whitty and Johnson knew full well that non-medical face masks do very little to prevent transmission of the lurgy. People were made to wear them anyway because Dominic Cummings was fixated with them, because Nicola Sturgeon liked them, and above all because they were symbolic of the public health emergency. So yeah, there you go. We were right, weren't we, to be very wary of the whole muzzle thing and to be totally against them, because it turns out that they were basically a vanity project for these corrupt tyrants like Sturgeon, like Cummings, people who really should never ever have been appointed into positions of power, were put into those positions and then really abused those positions and brought in things like masks simply because it was a vanity project for them. Anyway, I think this article is absolutely incredible. It reveals so much, so many things that we suspected anyway, and here it is straight from the horse's mouth. So I'm going to leave you to go and read the article in full. I'll leave a link in the description box below, which will actually take you through to a publication called The Daily Skeptic, which has this article in part, but if you scroll down to the bottom, there's a link there which will take you through to The Spectator, and you can read it in full. But anyway, I'll leave you to go and look at that, and I'll be back tomorrow. Tim from Fair Play Now, thanks for watching.